Are you thinking about making a move to Pearland, Texas? Well, grab your popcorn, my friend, because I am about to take you all around town and show you everything that Pearland has to offer. And then of course, we're gonna dive into the real estate aspect of things, and we're gonna do some home tours together in all sorts of price ranges. But before we begin our journey for the day, let's grab a cup of coffee here at First Cup. Man, this place really does have some great coffee. And if you are a coffee connoisseur and you ever find yourself in Pearland, Texas, make sure you stop by First Cup. It's located off of 518 near Pearland Parkway. Hey, if this is your first time landing on my channel, first of all, thank you so much for being here. We cover the entire greater Houston area from suburb to suburb, city to city, so you can know exactly what to expect when relocating down here to the Houston, Texas region. And if that is the type of content that you are looking for, hit the subscribe button down below and tap the bell icon so you can be the first to stay up to date with the Houston market conditions. My name is Andrew Lake. I'm with the Life in Houston Realty team, and we get calls and text messages from people just like you all the time relocating here to the Houston, Texas area. So whether you are 9 days out or 9 months out, it doesn't matter. Feel free to give us a call. I will leave all of my information in the description box down below, and we would be honored and delighted to help you make a smooth move to Houston. Now, let's take a closer look at Pearland, and the first thing that I want you to know is the location and why the location is prime. Pearland is located south of Houston, Texas, and the majority of Pearland is located in Brazoria County and can really be separated by Old Pearland and New Pearland, aka East and West Pearland. The multiple access points to major freeways that go in every direction imaginable in the Houston area makes this city a prime location for a lot of people, especially those in the medical field. West Pearland is near 288, Highway 288 and FM 518, and is a 20-minute drive to the Houston Medical Center and a 20-minute drive to downtown Houston. East Pearland is closest to the Beltway, aka Sam Houston Tollway and I-45. If you need to catch a flight, Hobby Airport is your closest airport and is roughly 15 minutes away. If there's anywhere you need to get within Houston or the neighboring suburbs, you will have no issue getting there. So how did Pearland get its name? I mean, it's kind of unique, right? Well, as you may have guessed it, it's because of pear trees. And here is a quick and short history lesson for all of you history fanatics out there. In the year 1882, the city was originally named Mark Belt. But 12 years later, in 1894, a Polish man filed a large plot of land and called it Pear Land, after seeing many pear trees and the abundance of fruit harvesting in the area. So he thought Pearland was a great name for the community. The area was promoted as having fertile land, bringing people from many Midwestern states to settle here in Pearland. The city, however, was struck by a catastrophic hurricane in 1900 and in 1915, and it decimated the growth of Pearland. However, the city bounced back in 1917 and modernization and infrastructure began during this rebuilding time of Pearland. After the incorporation of the city in 1959, the city of Pearland began a slow but steady growth outward of both land and population. The pattern of high growth continues today as the Houston area grows. The city of Pearland continues to become an increasingly desirable location for many. Pearland has a population of around 160,000 people and ranks number 6 on the list for the fastest growing cities in America, according to USA Today. The city also has 7 major community parks, 2 really cool dog parks perfect for your pups, and 10 awesome neighborhood parks. The average home price here is $362,000, which makes this suburban community a great option for affordability. But make no mistake, there's luxury here as well, which I will show you during our home tours. So Pearland is no stranger to putting on some pretty awesome events, and I can tell you I've been to the majority of them, and it's definitely something that you don't want to miss out on. Some of the events that they have here are the Hometown Christmas Festival, the Winter Fest, They have a 4th of July celebration of freedom, which is really cool. They do an awesome fireworks show. And then they have some farmers markets. I mean, the list can go on and on. I'm sure you guys get the idea, but those that I just mentioned are some of my personal favorites. So I'm here in one of the most popular spots in all of Pearland, and that is called the Pearland Town Center. And this place is huge. The town center here provides retail, residential, office, and hotel space, all within 1.1 million square foot of space. And this mall, as you can tell, is an open air lifestyle concept, meaning that everything is outdoors, which is really nice, especially during those fall and winter months. Now, this town center is actually pretty awesome. We actually come here pretty often, and it has over 80 different shopping and retail stores, dozens of restaurants and big name shopping like Macy's, Dillard's, and Dick's Sporting Goods. And where I'm at right now is the turf area right next to the pavilion, which is right in front of me, where a lot of those events that I mentioned earlier are hosted. And I think it's pretty clear at this point that Pearland does have a lot to offer to its residents. All right, guys, let's get down to the good and the bad, the beautiful pros and those dreadful cons. And starting off with pro number one is all about diversity. Pearland is an extremely diverse city that has families from all different walks of life that actually call this place home. It really is a true melting pot where everybody just fits in. And while we're on the subject of diversity, I have to mention the food here. There is no better place than Pearland when it comes to diversity for the food. There's food here from all different cultures and walks of life that you can have amazing experiences with. And we'll get more into food later on in this video. Next on the list for pro number two is the Pearland school districts. If you're seeking a great school district for your kids, look no further than Pearland. The school districts here are top notch, and Pearland is ranked number 4 out of all of the other districts in the greater Houston area. Think about that for a second. Do you know how massive Houston is? Houston is like an hour and a half away from Houston.
It's not just big, it's huge!
Not only that, but here's another crazy stat for you. Pearland ISD is actually ranked number 30 out of 1,052 in the entire state of Texas, and ranked number 346 out of 10,932 in the entire country. Let that sink in. Basically, your kids here at Pearland ISD are in good hands. Pearland Independent School District is a highly rated and sought after district in the state of Texas and ranks number 4 in the greater Houston region. The district has an overall A+ rating with an A rating in academics, B+ rating for the teachers, A- for clubs and activities, A for diversity, A+ for college prep, and A- for administration. There's a total of 11 elementary schools, 8 middle schools, and 3 high schools. Pearland ISD has a total of 21,237 currently enrolled students with an 18-to-1 student-teacher ratio. The average graduation rate is 97%, the average SAT score is 1250, and the average ACT score is 28. Pearland ISD is ranked number 1 district in all of Brazoria County. Pearland also has an amazing sports community from Little League all the way to high school. Now, the Pearland Little League baseball team has been in the World Series several times in the past few years, and Pearland High School football team has also been to state championship several times as well. They run a phenomenal sports program over here. And on the subject of high school, I think it's important for you guys to know that there are 3 high schools here inside the city of Pearland. Pearland High School, which is right behind me, or Pearland, this is Pearland Football Stadium, but we're at Pearland High School. Then there's Dawson High School, who also plays here. And then there is Shadow Creek Ranch, which is located on the Shadow Creek side of 288 and 518. But Shadow Creek is not Pearland ISD, so keep that in mind. That is actually considered Alvin ISD, which we'll get into in a later video. Just something for you to take note of. And coming in at con number 1, which is almost always the case here in the Houston area, which is all about the traffic. It truly sucks. Now, it seems to be a little bit more congested in Pearland on the newer side of Pearland, which is 288 and 518, which is essentially where I'm at right now at the town center, which makes a little bit more sense because that's where it's more densely populated than most of Pearland, and where all of the major developments and economic expansion has been happening since the last few decades or so, last couple of decades or so. And con number 2 on the list is going to be all about windstorm insurance and property taxes. So Pearland is actually located in what's called Brazoria County. Now, Brazoria County is a coastal county. And so if you finance a home to purchase here, you will be required to carry windstorm insurance. Now there are smaller portions of Pearland that are located in different counties like Harris County or Fort Bend County, but we're talking the majority of landmass here. And for property taxes, it really just depends on the neighborhood that you choose. Each neighborhood could have a different tax rate, and I know that might sound a little bit confusing for some of you who aren't familiar with Texas property tax codes. So when you're home shopping for a house in Pearland, make sure you give us a call or a text or send us an email, and we will help you navigate through all of this nasty mess, and we'll help you pick out a home that makes the most sense for you or your family. And moving on to the next and final pro, number 3, is going to be all about the community here. As big as Pearland is, you still get that small town vibe whenever you get involved with certain activities. Things like church, sports, fitness, local networking events, or local meetup groups. I mean, the list goes on. And you have the ability to build relationships and friendships here in this city that will last a lifetime. Which that and the diversity here in this city are honestly my 2 favorite characteristics that this city has. All right, well, it may not seem like it to you guys, but we have been filming all day and I am starving. So what better way to transition into the best places to eat? And right now I am at Gringo's. So Gringo's is a Tex-Mex restaurant, and it is the most famous and well-known Tex-Mex restaurants in all of Pearland, and for good reason. They've been around since the 90s. Delicious Tex-Mex food, and those of you coming from out of state that don't know what Tex-Mex is, that is that ultra delicious stuff that's just, you know, enchiladas and fajitas, you know, all the stuff that's just absolutely terrible for you. Yes, we live for that here in Texas. We are Tex-Mex through and thin, all right? So let's go ahead and grab some food here and a bite to eat at Gringo's, and I'm gonna show you one of my all-time favorite spots. This right here is my all-time favorite. So let's go check it out. Man, that really hit the spot. I get a little hangry when I don't have my taco fix. Anyways, Gringo's here is a staple in the Pearland community, and it is ranking #1 on my list. My all-time favorite restaurant in the city of Pearland is Gringo's. So this is gonna rank #1. Next up is going to be Killen's Barbecue. Now this barbecue joint here is extremely popular. People from all over Houston will actually travel down here to Pearland or over here to Pearland just to wait in line to get some barbecue here. Their brisket, in my opinion, is some of the best brisket that I've ever had. And I'm here on a Monday, and they're closed on Mondays for some odd reason, but if you want to come and get Killen's Barbecue, you have to get here early when they open because the line will be stretched all the way around to the other side. There will be tons of people lined up here, and you'll probably be waiting in line for 30 to 45 minutes just to grab some barbecue or a bite to eat. So make sure you get here at a reasonable time, because once they sell out, then they shut down. Even if you're waiting in line, once they sell out a barbecue, there's nothing left. But this spot lands #2 on my list. #3 on the list is going to be Good Vibes Burgers. Now, if you're looking for a mouth-watering, delicious burger, this is gonna be the spot to be. And I believe they might actually have craft brew now here, which is pretty cool. So if you wanna check out a nice little burger place, make sure you check out the spot. I will say they have been a little bit more on the expensive side last time I was here, but still, it's definitely worth checking out. And coming in #4 on my list is gonna be Floyd's. Floyd's is a seafood restaurant, so if you're in the mood for seafood and you're in the Pearland area, you gotta make sure you stop by Floyd's. They have shrimp, crawfish, crab, fish. I mean, they have it all. And sometimes around the back right here, they'll have live music playing. So if you're in the mood for some live music in an outdoor area and eat some delicious seafood while you're at it, this would be the place to be. Number 5 on the list has to be Glen Steakhouse. Now, Glen Steakhouse is perfect for date nights, birthday celebrations, anniversary celebrations, or even just coming out and having a relaxing night for dinner. Now, these mouth-watering steaks are cooked to perfection, so I definitely recommend that you come out and give it a try. In my opinion, this is the best steakhouse, or the best steak that you can get in the city of Pearland. And I don't know if they've changed it recently or not, but I do know that you cannot just walk in this place. You do have to schedule a reservation, and usually they're like 2 to 3 weeks out. So if you really want a delicious mouth-watering steak, go ahead and make your reservations for Glen Steakhouse. All right, coming in at number 6 is another local favorite Tex-Mex restaurant, and that is Lupe Tortilla. Now, Lupe Tortilla is one of the most absolute delicious fajitas that you will ever have. It is full of flavor, juicy, tender, and I think their secret is they put their fajita, or they soak their fajitas in lime juice overnight. I don't know. Either way, it's freaking delicious, and I highly recommend you stop by Lupe Tortilla. Are you getting hungry yet? Not me. I just ate. Are you looking for authentic Italian food? Well, coming in number 7 on the list is Grazia Italian Kitchen, and this is going to be your go-to Italian restaurant in Pearland. The food is freaking delicious, and what's really cool is they have something called a secret speakeasy. If you don't know what a speakeasy is, Google it and tell me what you find out. Central Texas barbecue is another staple in the Pearland community and has been around for a very long time. It is a great alternative to Glen's barbecue, and one of my favorites on the menu is the chopped beef brisket, or chopped brisket loaded baked potato, which I'm willing to bet that you cannot finish it all in one sitting. Now that is Texas sized portions, baby. Are you looking for some good old-fashioned country cooking? Well, look no further than Kelly's. Now, speaking of Texas sized portions, Kelly's is just flat out ridiculous. I mean, it should be a crime on how much food this establishment gives you. Seriously, you will not leave hungry. I mean, they're open all day. They serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And last but certainly not least on the list is Grace Pizza and Shakes. Now, their pizzas are freaking delicious, and they're freshly made to your order, so you can build your own pizza. And don't even get me started on their shakes. Their shakes are just the most delicious insanity ever. They are so freaking over the top. But man, shakes and pizza, it's a combination that you definitely won't regret. Well, I mean, at least for the moment. I can't speak for later on. Pearland has a ton of great dining options to choose from, and there's a lot of great spots that didn't make the list. And Pearland also has the typical, chains that you would see in a suburban community. And I really wanted to highlight and showcase all of the mom and pop type of restaurants that are just simply amazing, and then really they just don't get the publicity like a normal chain does. All right, so now it's time that we transition into our home tours and neighborhood tours together. So we're gonna tour a lot of different homes in some various neighborhoods and all sorts of price ranges, and we're gonna be in the most popular neighborhoods, in my opinion, in the city of Pearland. And the first neighborhood that we're gonna go see together is the biggest and largest neighborhood in all of Pearland. It has tons of amenities, so I figured that might be a great place to start to show you guys, get you familiar with one of the biggest and well-known neighborhoods here in the city. So let's take a ride together. Come with me, ride with me. Let's drive and take a look at the first neighborhood. All right, y'all, well, we have arrived at Shadow Creek Ranch, and Shadow Creek is the biggest neighborhood in all of Pearland. Let me tell you some stats about Shadow Creek Ranch. Shadow Creek Ranch is the largest neighborhood in Pearland and is strategically located near 288 and FM 518 with just under a 20-minute drive to downtown Houston and the medical center. This master planned community is sitting on 3,500 acres where you can live, work, and play all in the same community. Shadow Creek consists of a whopping 12,723 home sites, and residents are zoned to the award-winning Pearland ISD or Alvin ISD school districts. Average sales price in Shadow Creek Ranch is $474,000. Average rent here is $2,750. Average home size here is 3,134 square feet, and the average price per square foot is $156. The tax rate in Shadow Creek Ranch is 2.5%, and the annual HOA dues are $1,087. Amenities include 4 recreational centers with pools, playgrounds, tennis courts, pickleball courts, water parks, barbecue facilities, picnic pavilions, 300 acres of lakes, 700 acres of green space, and 22 miles of hiking and biking trails. All right, y'all, well, we've made it to the first property in our tour, and we are in Shadow Creek Ranch. So this property right here, right behind me, is a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath house. It's sitting on a 15,000 square foot lot, and it is roughly about 3,500 square foot, just a little bit over. And it's currently listed for sale right now at $587,000. So let's go take a look on the inside of this house and see what it looks like. So obviously you can tell that this property does need a little bit of work. You can tell that they have some paint spots, or they're touching up paint. I believe a tenant had just moved out of this property and now they're putting up for sale. The listing agent did inform me before I got here though that they are in fact going to remove it from the market, and so they can finish doing these touch-ups and have it presented better than what it presents now. Either way, I mean, it's still a nice property, even though it does need a little bit of touch-ups. For $587, I don't know, I'd have to check the comps and really kind of narrow down, but I think they understand that they got to remove it from the market in order to get $587 for it and do the touch-ups and make it more presentable. But nonetheless, the house is actually still a really nice house. These ceilings are super tall, which is nice. You definitely don't feel claustrophobic in here. You have a nice pool out there. Who knows what kind of condition the pool is in. I don't think the bubbler is supposed to be that extreme. So I'll have to notify the listing agent that the bubbler, I don't know if that's supposed to be that way or not, but overall it's a beautiful house. In 587, well, I chose this price range or this house simply because I felt like that was a happy medium compared to what's listed and currently on the market right now here in Shadow Creek Ranch. So prices here range from, you know, maybe the high threes. I've seen property up here close to $1 million or even over $1 million, depending on what section of Shadow Creek that you're in. Obviously from the stats, you know, the Shadow Creek Ranch is a massive, massive master plan community. I mean, it's huge. They have their own schools and everything here. I mean, this place is just ginormous, but I felt like this was overall a nice happy medium, and it kind of gives you the idea of what you can get here in Shadow Creek or what type of property is built here in Shadow Creek. With the tall ceilings, recessed ceilings, a lot of natural light that flows through here. A lot of these homes do have some bigger backyards, which is nice, especially if you want to install a pool. But overall, minus the touch-ups that needs to be done with the property, I feel like this was a nice house. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below for Shadow Creek Ranch. This is a 3,500 square foot home with a pool sitting on a 15,000 square foot lot. Do you feel that 587 is worth it? Let me know. All right, guys, well, that's gonna wrap it up for this first house. Let's move on to the next community. You know the drill, drive with me. All right, so here we are at the lakes at Highland Glen. This neighborhood is beautiful. I love this neighborhood. We are actually on the older side of Pearland. So here's a couple things you need to know about the lakes at Highland Glen. First off, they have awesome amenities here, which we'll include in the stats here in just a moment. But the neighborhood is really separated into two. So we have the estates at Highland Glen, which is a gated community, which splits it with Pearland Parkway. So when you take Pearland Parkway off of the Beltway, you're gonna have two sides of the lakes at Highland Glen, one side being the gated side, which is the estates at Highland Glen, and then this side where I'm currently at right now, which is just the normal lakes at Highland Glen. Either way, it's still a phenomenal property. You can see I'm walking next to the clubhouse here at the lakes at Highland Glen. So here's some stats that you need to know about the lakes at Highland Glen. The lakes at Highland Glen is a wonderful 550-acre community located off Pearland Parkway, close to Beltway 8, I-45, and Highway 35. The neighborhood is split in half by Pearland Parkway, one being a gated section and the other a non-gated section. This community features 831 home sites and is zoned to Pearland ISD. Average sales price is $485,000. The median size of homes in this neighborhood are 3,000 square feet. The average rent price is $3,300 per month. The tax rate for this community is slightly higher than other neighborhoods, coming in at 3% before homestead and other exemptions. The annual HOA dues are $975, and amenities include more than a dozen lakes ranging from 2 to 20 acres scattered across the subdivision, a community pool, and various playgrounds. All right, we're coming up on the next property, and it's gonna be this one right here. This one is a 4-bedroom, 4.5 bathrooms, just shy under 3,600 square feet. And it does have a pool in the back, so it's another house with another pool. This one is listed at $599,900, so basically $600,000. This house was built in 2005, like most of the neighborhood here. So let's go take a look at the inside of this house and see what it looks like. And you guys tell me if you think $599,000 would be worth it right here in Lakes at Highland Glen. This property is definitely unique. It seems like all of the guest bedrooms have their own full bathroom, which is actually really cool. And if you notice, there's like a room that is kind of conjoined next to the master bedroom that has its own media room or office, however you want to deal with it, but you have that extra space that's right off of the master bedroom. Not sure how you might feel about that, but hey, it's unique. At least it's a little bit different, right? But so let's go take a look at the next neighborhood. All right, so we've made it to the Villages at Mary's Creek. This is one of my favorite neighborhoods simply because, I mean, it's beautiful. We have the lake view here. I'm on a turf area with the playground for the kids, and we have the community pool all right next to each other. Then we have this nice walking trail all around the lake. But more importantly, what I really like about this neighborhood is that it's like right across the street from Pearland High School. I mean, walking distance. So if you have kids that are, entering to the high school phase, or they're already in the high school phase and you're going to be relocating, this is a prime spot because you're walking distance to Pearland High School. So you're right there at Pearland Parkway, Euler Drive, Highway 35 to get in and out of Pearland. It's all right here. But here are some stats that you need to know about the Villages at Mary's Creek. The Villages at Mary's Creek is a gated community and is located in the original site of Pearland near Pearland Parkway and FM Dixie Farm Road, and is within walking distance to Pearland High School. Mary's Creek has 291 home sites and is zoned to Pearland ISD, and residents are zoned to Shady Crest Elementary School, Pearland Junior High East, and Pearland High School. Average sales price is $540,000. The median size of homes here is 3,500 square feet. The tax rate is a low 2.4%, and the annual HOA dues are $1,000. The amenities here at the Villages of Mary's Creek include a gated entry for that extra layer of security, a clubhouse with a pool and spa, playgrounds, a lake, and hiking and biking trails around the lake. All right, y'all, we're coming up on the first property here at the Villages at Mary's Creek, and this property is gorgeous inside. Unfortunately, it is occupied, so I'm not gonna be able to get inside this one out of respect for the homeowners. I don't wanna make them get out just so I can film, and plus they have personal stuff in there. So hopefully you guys understand. But this property right here, we're coming up, is listed at $589,000. It is a 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath home built in 2008, and it has a gorgeous, gorgeous pool in the backyard, but it is a beautiful property. Now you can tell this neighborhood is very well upkept. Tax rate's kind of low here. We're right next to Pearland High School, which is a big, big plus for all of you folks who have children that are gonna be entering the high school phase soon. But you can tell all these yards are well manicured. They have different types of elevations here. Like I said, the neighborhood was established in 07-ish, around there, 07, 08. But it's a small gated community, which I love. I'm not real big on the big, massive master plan communities. This is too big for my liking, but to each their own, right? But I really love the small, tight-knit communities that may have like 250 homes, or maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, and it's a gated community. You have that extra sense of security, which is pretty nice. And you're right here next to everything is right here. So you're right next to the high school. You're right next to major roads to get in and out of Pearland, which is super nice. All right, guys, well, you know the drill. Let's move on to the next community. Drive with me. All right, so we're coming up on the next property here in Oakbrook, and this property right here, right behind me, is listed at $359,000. It is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath home, just shy under 2,100 square feet. It was built in 1996. You can tell there's cars in the driveway, just like the last one. It is owner occupied, so I'm not gonna be able to get inside, or I can, but just out of respect for the homeowners, I'm not gonna make them get out of the house just so we can film. So I'll put up some pictures so you can take a look. It's been beautifully remodeled. Like I said, this neighborhood is a little bit older and established community, very quiet, located right off of Dixie Farm Road and 518 in Pearland, so you're on the older side, but it's a beautifully quiet neighborhood, very well established, super close to Pearland High School, very close to all of the major freeways and major roads to get in and out of Pearland pretty easily. Dixie Farm will lead you straight out to 45. So you can, if you need to get to a neighboring suburb or you need to get to the city of Houston, you'll have no problem there. I mean, it's a straight shot right there until you get to 45. But you can tell by the pictures, they've done a great job with the remodel on the inside. It's been very well taken care of. The outside doesn't look too bad at all. I mean, they have you might not be able to tell, but the little flower bed back there looks pretty good. But overall, it's a really decent property. $359,000 for about 2,100 square foot. Tell me if you guys think that's worth it. Oakbrook is a smaller, more established community featuring mature oak trees and is located on the original site of Pearland, aka East Pearland, off of Dixie Farm Road and FM 518. Oakbrook is close to Pearland High School and has a short commute to I-45 to get into Houston or head south towards Galveston. Oakbrook has 332 home sites and is zoned to Pearland ISD. Residents are zoned to Rustic Oaks Elementary School, Pearland Junior High East, and Pearland High School. The average sales price in Oakbrook is $355,000 and the average rent is $2,250. The median size of homes here is 2,400 square feet and the tax rate is at an impressive low 2.2% and the annual HOA dues are a low $265.
Whoever may need this nugget of encouragement, things will be alright, so quit your worry. I get it, the odds seem stacked back against the wall, but even consider it such, no, you'll stand tall. Sat and watch from the sidelines, one too many times, wicked games we play, make me wanna lose my mind. Found solitude, knowing it'll be over soon. Ever need a boost, count on me for the 1-2. Trouble don't last when the tough get going. Baby, all we do is...
All right, y'all. Well, we have made it to one of my all-time favorite communities here in the city of Pearland, and we are in Green Tea. Green Tea Terrace is an older, well-established, and very popular golf course community in Pearland. The majority of the neighborhood is located in Brazoria County, but extends into Harris County as well, resulting in 2 different zip codes, 77581 and 77089. There are 2 main access points, one entry off of 518 and the other entry is located on the Harris County side off of Scarsdale Boulevard. The community hosts 665 home sites with an average sales price of $560,000. The median year that homes were built is 1987 and features a healthy mix of newer homes and older renovated homes. Median size home here is 3,000 square foot and the median lot size is 10,500 square feet. Residents are zoned to the award-winning Pearland ISD on the Brazoria County side and Pasadena ISD on the Harris County side. The tax rate is a low 2.3% and, believe it or not, the HOA is voluntary, meaning no mandatory annual HOA dues. The amenities in this neighborhood include the popular Golf Crest Country Club, pickleball courts, tennis courts, a swimming pool, a dining facilities, and an 18-hole championship golf course. All right, so we're coming up on the first property here in Green Tea, and it's gonna be this property right behind me. So what's funny about this property, or what's crazy, is I actually sold this house twice in the year 2020. I had an investor client that wanted to flip house, and we ended up picking this house up for $220,000 and then turned around and sold it 4 or 5 months later for $575,000. So it's currently listed for sale right now at $700,000. Believe it or not, I don't know if they're gonna get that much, but let me tell you a little bit about this house. This house is one of the largest houses here. It's about 4,700 square foot. Might not look like it, but it goes way back there in the back. It's 4,700 square foot, and it's a 6-bedroom, 4.5 bathroom home sitting on a 13,000 square foot lot. It was built in 1978. So like I said, these homes here are a little bit older. But what's really nice about that though is all these homes have character, right? So you're not gonna find the same monotonous cookie cutter home after cookie cutter home after cookie cutter home. They all look different. They're all kind of unique in their own way. Some are newer, some have new construction, some have tore down the old homes and built new construction on it, or some have like this one right here, the one I was just showing you, has been remodeled on the inside. I'll put up pictures for you guys to see that, but this is one of my favorite communities in all of Pearland, just because of how unique it is. And what's really cool too about green tea is, man, if you ever find yourself in Pearland during Christmas time, this is where you want to be. They have a phenomenal light. I mean, the whole HOA and the whole neighborhood gets together, and almost every last house in this neighborhood is just decked out in Christmas lights and Christmas decor, decorations, and it's beautiful. It is actually a long-standing tradition here in Pearland. A lot of people from all over the Houston area and all over Pearland will come here and they'll do drive-bys. And the HOA actually has routes, so you'll follow the signs and you'll see there'll be hundreds, if not thousands of cars that come here or come through here almost every night to check out the light shows here. But it's a beautiful neighborhood. I love this place. It's very quiet. It's an older, established community, but it's a beautiful neighborhood nonetheless. And there's a golf course, right around the corner. So if golfing is your thing, then you're right here. You got the country club right in your back pocket. But it's a beautiful home, beautiful neighborhood. So if you're looking for something with a little bit more character, then green tea is going to be the spot that you're going to want to be in. Well, this is going to wrap up our Pearland community vlog tour for the day. If there's another suburban area that you want us to cover, comment down below and we'll add it to the list. Hey, I truly hope that you found value in this video, and if you did, hit the subscribe button down below and tap the bell icon so you can be the first to keep up to date, the first to know about the current market conditions here in Houston, Texas. If moving to Houston is in your future, please reach out to us. I will leave all my information in the description box down below, and we would be delighted and honored to help you make a smooth move to Houston, Texas. Signing off for now, until next time.